Hopkins police chief will be giving an update. We don't know when that will happen, but he is told that that will be happening from one end of this. We believe it'll happen out there at the scene. So we hopefully will have that shortly, so we can all have some of the questions answered here as to what has happened and why such a large police presence. Certainly it gets your attention when it's children involved, especially what appears to be very young children at this home daycare.
And I know it's difficult because we just don't know a lot, and you know, we are being very reserved in what we are reporting because we want to make sure that we get this right and wait until we hear official word from police. So understandably, you know, folks at home may be wondering, well, what is going on? We're trying to gather as much as we can. We have crews there on the scene trying to get some information from police, from neighbors and such. But just to kind of reset here, if you're just joining us, we are monitoring a very active situation in Hopkins on Tyler Avenue North. You can see it on the map there, the very active scene. What is a home daycare in Hopkins in that residential area. Police on the scene, huge police presence. We also saw an ambulance stationed there at the scene. We haven't seen the ambulance leave the area. Now, we don't know if there were, you know, ones there prior to when we came here live on the air at this point, but working to learn more. It is a home daycare. Police did confirm to our Corn Hogger that the focus right now is this home daycare, and it is a very active still situation here as an officer even answered the phone. I know one of our executive producers called the home daycare in question and said this is an active scene.
We also we have our chopper up in the air. We are trying to get those pictures for you as well to give you more of a bird's eye view of what's happening here so you can see the larger scale of this scene from above. Brent Johnson, by the way, is the name of the Hopkins police chief, who we should be hearing from. We're also, we know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. There's some breaking news happening out of Minnesota. Some breaking news. We're live right now. Breaking news. 3 people stabbed to death, they're saying, at this home daycare. Okay, so including a child apparently was killed. 2 adults and 1 child, according to scanner reports. It was at a daycare in Hopkins, Minnesota. They're going to be doing a press conference coming up. One of the earlier scanner reports as well that I had read said that 6 from alert page that 6 kids were unharmed, but now we're hearing 2 adults and 1 child stabbed to death at this daycare. I don't know what could have happened for somebody to go ballistic and lose their minds like this. Daycare stabbing, EMS on scene, police reporting 3 victims deceased, reported 6 children not harmed. So quite a few kids have probably saw what happened there today. I can't imagine how traumatic that is. We're live now on iCkEdMeL. Just crazy, man. End of times. Let's listen to what's going on. The press conference coming up.
Here in Hopkins, and you know, something that we'll learn about the details. We'll confirm those details here hopefully pretty soon.
Just a quick question, Corn, on the Hopkins police chief. You were informed that Brent Johnson, the chief of police there, would be giving a statement. Do we know when that will happen or have an idea? Will it be happening out there at the scene as well?
Right, so Richard Bowring and
they're doing a presser now.
Ross and I are on the north side of.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. We got okay, I think there's a cop here talking right now. Let me get that on the screen. Hang on a second here. Boop. Get some kind of update. See. Okay, here it is. Okay, let me just set this up. Mute this guy. Presser here. Okay.
Upon arrival, officers located a deceased male, female, and juvenile victim. There were other children present within the daycare, and we were able to get them out of the daycare and reunify them with their parents. At this time, there's no outstanding threats in the community. This is an isolated incident. and we are continuing to investigate it throughout the day and probably evening. I can provide you more information as we gather the information throughout the day.
Was this family?
All the victims appear to be a part of one family.
How many kids were inside the home when it happened?
There were 7 children within the daycare. One is deceased.
Can you give an approximate age of that child?
I honestly do not know.
Were there any other injuries besides the 3 that are deceased?
There were no other injuries to any other children inside the daycare.
Chief, is this a house that has been known to y'all? Is there any history with this couple that you know of?
At this point, I do not have that information.
Chief, what time did this happen?
This happened just after 9 this morning.
Was the person who perpetrated the attack one of the deceased, or do we know where they are?
We believe the perpetrator is deceased.
Is the perpetrator the male or the female?
We believe it's the male.
What's the relationship of the adults who were deceased to the daycare, if any, or to the home?
It's believed to be the daycare owners.
Do they live there?
We believe so, yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Are they, what's their relationship, husband, wife?
I honestly do not know the marital status of them, or if they're partners. I don't know at this point.
But the child that was killed is their child?
Believed to be their child, yes.
Can you just talk about the gravity of this situation, dealing with something like this, and then also having other people's children in the home at this time that this happened?
Well, this is a horrific, tragic situation for any community, especially here in Hopkins, where we don't see this type of crime. It's a rarity here in Hopkins. We're a very safe community, and the impact is felt not only here but elsewhere for every parent who has a child in a daycare setting or anywhere where they don't have immediate control over their child. So yes, it's heartbreaking.
Chief, I'm sorry if I missed this. Was this a stabbing? What was the weapon involved here?
At this time, we are still trying to determine the weapons involved, and we'll release that at a later date.
Anything about the nature of the injuries?
No, at this point, I can't tell you.
How were police notified about this, and what sort of response did you guys have right away?
Our response was due to a parent of one of the daycare children who had arrived to drop off their children.
Did they witness it?
I believe so.
Wow.
What are the ages of the range of the children there and the deceased?
They were all very, very young children. So I don't have their ages at this point.
Under 5?
It was somewhere around that age or less.
Do we know if there was any no contact, domestic restraining order, anything like that involved in this couple?
Again, we're trying to dive into the background here, but initially our goal was to get here to protect the scene as quick as possible with multiple agencies. That's why I had a very large response. And at that point, the goal is just to preserve the scene and make sure that everyone was safe. Render aid as quick as possible.
Sorry, are the kids all back with their parents now?
Yes, all the children have been reunified with their parents, and that's why this took so long to come out here and tell me this.
Can you just tell me again your reaction? I mean, you hit on it a little bit, that this really is a nightmare situation for a parent. You drop your kid off at daycare, and then you find out this happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's no worse scenario than this, where you drop off your child to somewhere you think is safe, and you get that phone call. I think we can all relate who have children and those who don't, that this is just a tragic situation anywhere in the world, let alone here in Hopkins. And again, this is a rarity, and we will continue to investigate it as thorough and transparent as possible.
Chief, 2 questions here. Maybe too early. Do we know, did the perpetrator take his own life?
Preliminarily, we believe that to be the case.
Okay. And how are your officers holding up to? I mean,
Wow, he said the perpetrator. This is some crazy stuff. This murder unaliving stuff that's happening.
here. Maybe too early. Do we know, did the perpetrator take his own life?
Preliminarily, we believe that to be the case.
Okay. And how are your officers holding up to? I mean, this is, not just for the community. This has got to be traumatic for them as well.
The initial officers on scene, this was a tragic situation for them as well, and I could see on the look on their faces that this was one of those ones that you'll remember throughout your entire career, if not life.
Do you have any expectations about when you'll have other updates, and will it be happening here at the scene or someplace else? Or?
I was hoping to do one at 4 o'clock today at City Hall. I also have Mayor Hanlon from the city here present with us today, and we'll put out more information as we gather the intelligence from the scene.
I know you're still working at one last, if you know, is this a licensed daycare? Do you have any idea?
I do not have that information.
Did the suspect shoot himself did he shoot or was he stabbed?
At this point in time, I can't tell you that information. We'll be able to tell you later this afternoon, but there's 3 deceased individuals in the house, all believed to be related.
Did the husband live at the house at the time?
I don't have that information.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Did the mayor want to say a couple words?
Did you want to say a couple words, Mayor? You guys want?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we just heard the official statement coming from the police chief there of Hopkins. That is Police Chief Brent Johnson, talking about what we had suspected to be the case. There's a deceased male, female, believed to be a couple, and their child, a juvenile victim, who are all deceased.
A total of 3 people dead. We understand that there were 7 kids in the daycare at the time. I guess the mayor is speaking now. Let's listen in.
This community is reeling. It's a small community. We're only 20,000 people, but we operate as a small community, and everyone knows each other. There are no strangers in this community, so we are all reeling with this information right now as a community, and so grateful for the different departments that have come out from across the West Metro here and immediately to lend a hand in this situation. So just grateful for the police work that's going on right now and reeling from a really tragic incident. So thank you.
Anything else you want to add here? I mean, this is obviously horrific for anybody.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I think the first and foremost is to know that there's not an ongoing threat. I think when you see a lot of police cars in our neighborhood and a lot of folks reacting and responding, to know that there's not an additional threat to our community. But yes, we are all just reeling from this tragic incident that's going on in our city right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, all right.
It's the mayor
So I'm trying to grasp
at the time.
I'm trying to grasp a bit about what's going on. This is crazy and insane. And so if you're just joining, welcome. I had heard about something happening for like an hour or so before we got this live. I saw a scanner. They were talking about multi-victim stabbing in Hopkins, Minnesota, and that there were 6 children not harmed, but 3 victims deceased. And now we're getting more information, but still obviously don't know much. And it seems like the owners lived there, and it was a daycare being run out of a home. There were 6 other kids. And initial reports said stabbing, even though during the presser it seems like maybe they didn't want to confirm exactly what. There's probably, and the guy offed himself too, the perpetrator. So the person, I guess, killed I'm assuming a woman, another adult, their own child. I guess it was the guy that did that, stabbed him, and I don't know how he took himself out. You know, was it all just with a knife? What is going on with people? Because I feel like we're covering these stories every day. And you got to be a really sick person, because the other 6 kids are there watching this shit happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, holy crap.
Parents were reunited with the children in this horrific scene,
Domestic dispute.
and that has happened. So that's why they decided to hold the news conference when they did.
Again, so it's the Brown Bear Home Daycare, and again, the police chief confirming the 7 kids were at the daycare at the time. All managed to get out and reunite with their family. Did not know the exact ages, but did say they were very young. 5 and younger is what he assumed, was kind of guessing, but that they were reunited with their family. But obviously, who knows, you know, the situation that they were in, and the idea that it was a parent. He said that it was a parent of a child who witnessed this, and that is how they got the 911 call, to be alerted that something.
Yeah, so I don't know if the parent was picking up or dropping off their child. I guess the parent's just approaching the house, and there's all this stabbing happening, or I don't know if they came across the bodies, and there's all these other kids there.
And Hopkins, Karen.
Right. Well, you heard the chief just speaking there. He did confirm 2 adults, a male and a female, and a juvenile, are all deceased. They are part of one family, a husband and wife, or they were partners, and then also their child was killed. We do not know the gender of the child just yet. He did say all the daycare children that were in there were very, very young, and that included the deceased juvenile, that they were very, very young, maybe around 4 or 5 years old.
Why kill the kid? Why kill your own child?
Situation here. Also, he did not confirm whether they were stabbed or they were shot. I asked specifically if the suspect in this was shot. He apparently took his own life, it seems, according to the chief, but he would not confirm weapons, who was stabbed or who was shot, or what all the weapons were involved. He said they were still kind of looking into that. So we're still waiting on information there. All the other daycare children we know are safe. They were safely reunited with their families. So we are just talking the adult, female and male, and then a juvenile who are deceased inside this home. Unclear what led up to this. Obviously some sort of domestic situation, since they're all from the same family, but we do not know what led up to this. Obviously they're looking into it. Still hearing a lot of unconfirmed things that I'll try to get confirmed as the day goes on here. Neighbors, though, pretty stunned about what's gone on here, as were the officers who responded to this. You know, a lot of them, of course, have children, and they've seen some things, but when you see a child like that, it is just heartbreaking. And it's a rough thing to be part of when you're working the scene here. But we're working to learn more information as the day goes on. We still have a lot of police departments here investigating. Hennepin County crime scene on here is still here investigating as well. So this is a very active scene at this point, and I think we're supposed to get an update around 4 o'clock this afternoon, hopefully with a little more information and a few more details about what exactly went on here early this morning, right after 9 o'clock. Guys?
Yeah, I mean, Karen, you referenced it. You could see it on the police chief's face. I mean, just the tone of just a horrific situation and horrible for the.
Steve had some audio too. Want to listen to the scanner real quick? What was happening when it happened? Steve.
Law enforcement has advised that all the children are accounted for. We've not identified any injuries. At this time, we'll release 448 from the scene. We'll be holding 428 and Dr. Hodap at reunification.
So those are the, obviously besides the 3 people that are deceased. Here.
404 EMS Command. EMS Command, law enforcement's reporting 2 adult DOAs, 1 pediatric DOA. 6 children reported unharmed. At this point, can we have a EMS physician paged out and sent to this call just to facilitate possible release of children if we are asked to evaluate any?
That's crazy. Yeah, daycare it's like a scary thing to take your child and leave your child at a daycare. It's like nerve-wracking. You don't know what's gonna happen. Some of them have cameras that you can, like, you know, they'll give you an app. A lot of them don't. They have their own cameras, but you might not have access to them. And you hear all kinds of stories of, you know, some of these kids being hit, abused. There was one recently where the lady, it seemed like she was trying to play with the kid, but she chucked this kid up in the air and the kid fell on the floor. But this is like to the next level. these home daycares. I want to know more about this daycare. These home daycares, I guess they're running and operating their own business. And who knows what those kids probably seeing all the time. If this is what happened today, what happens all the other days when those kids are there?
Right, there were a few neighbors out from the get-go, when this first happened, kind of trying to figure out what was happening. However, when things kind of calmed down, a lot more neighbors came out, and that's when the crime scene tape moved back even further. So we're kind of being kept further and further from the scene, especially on the residential side over there. So, yeah, there's a lot of people out and about, and like I said, they didn't even know there was a daycare, or maybe they were aware of it, but not really. But certainly there's heavy hearts around here, a lot of sort of disbelief that this would happen at a daycare. It's just horrific. And you heard the chief say that it was a father going to drop off his child at the daycare that kind of walked in on the horrific situation there.
Yeah.
Right.
Oof. And then called police, yeah.
Yeah, can only imagine. All right, Karen, we'll let you continue to do your on-the-ground reporting there. Appreciate that so much. Let's get over to Corin Hoggard. He's at the other end of the crime scene, which has been, we know, cordoned off that area off of the second to Lake. It's been cordoned off.
Maybe even more so.
Maybe farther now, but this all taking place on Tyler Ave North. We can confirm it is the Brown Bear Family Daycare. Corin, obviously the police chief filling in the blanks there and giving us some of the pieces of the puzzle. We had a pretty good idea of what they were, but now we know definitively what they are.
Right. Although the chief did not or could not confirm some of the details that we have heard from neighbors, just a little bit of a scene setter for you. The blockade here was just one police vehicle at the place where Tyler Avenue tees into Lake Street. So that police vehicle has moved closer to the scene, and our other camera now, Eric Gedros, has moved closer to the scene, and there is some type of news crew that was allowed all the way up to the police tape. And so I guess with this kind of calming down and all the reunifications of families happening,
Okay, 236. So the place is called Brown Bear Childcare. You pull up the address here, Brown Bear Childcare. Okay, it looks like a run out of somebody's house, I guess. We need to send Nick Shirley over here. Somebody's house, and are we able to see here or no? Oh, okay. I guess this is it. Let's see. Yeah, 236 is what the house looks like. Okay. This away. This is a picture from April 2025. That's the latest date, I guess. Yeah, April 2025. You would think there'd be a sign. Maybe I wonder if there's a sign now in 2026, April 2025. You know, people probably make some good money running this out of their house. I wonder if they get kickbacks from the government. Not sure how that all works. Dropping off your kid into hell. Oh, it's a good price. I'm getting a little discount. They're so nice to me. Oh, you know. And these kids are young. I mean, I don't know if they're 4 or 5. They should be able to maybe talk, but yeah, they should be able to say some words and talk a little bit. Definitely. Let's see if we can find out some more about this daycare.
Wife were the two that he killed, and then he took his own life at that point. And so she never saw the adults come back out of the house. She just saw the police herding the children out. The police chief told us there were 7 kids in there, including the one who was a familial relation to the suspect here. And then the other 6 children who were in there got out safely. It sounds like they were unharmed, and they are now reunited with their families. And so it is a family tragedy witnessed by more than just their family. And unfortunately, that is some trauma that a lot of these young kids are going to be dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt, and the police chief talking about it, not just anyone, beyond just the Hopkins community, beyond just that neighborhood, that, you know, the impact is not only felt there, but anywhere. If you have kids, even if you don't have kids, you have kids in a daycare.
Sure.
I mean, if you've had kids in a daycare, I mean, that idea that you drop your kids off, the chief said it, I mean, eloquently, of this is terrible. You drop your kid off where you think it's going to be safe. That was an interesting point, Corin, that you made when you spoke with that witness, saying she had seen that man before and knew that he, at least maybe, we don't know if he lived there, but clearly knew the home. She had seen him, that it wasn't a surprise, it wasn't like a stranger busting into this home.
Right, and from her perspective, she believed that 3 adults lived in that house, and so there is one unaccounted for. We don't know if that person still lives there or only lives there part-time or just wasn't there at the moment. But she said that there was an older, you know, middle-aged and up gentleman who lived there, and it sounds like that person's not really accounted for at this point. And so we don't really know. We didn't hear that from the chief. His next update won't come until it sounded like about 4 o'clock, and so hopefully we can get more details and kind of tie up some of the loose ends here. But, you know, at least at this point, it seems like it's safer. News crews now all the way down, including our Eric Gedros, all the way down the police scene. The tape that's kind of just about a half a block that's blocked off at this point now.
And Corin, just to put a finer point on what you were told by a witness, the police chase that ended there at Brown Bear at this family daycare center, was it Hopkins police chasing him, or was it another jurisdiction? Was it another police unit chasing him from another city or area?
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't 100% sure, but she was pretty sure it was a Hennepin County sheriff, in pursuit of the gentleman.
To your point, Corin, obviously still a lot of things that we need to piece together, but we appreciate your live report on the ground. Really, really appreciate that, kind of setting the scene, gathering as much information as possible. Obviously, we know that there were more than just Hopkins police involved in this. He referenced it, the chief referenced it. You know, Minnetonka was there, St. Louis Park, Sheriff's Department. Obviously, this is now a very elaborate crime scene, a controlled crime scene. Clearly, to that point, there's no longer, a danger, but clearly a lot of work still to be done there.
Well, and Corin, also in talking,
looks like the owner's name, the male might be Brown. I don't want to say his first name yet, but that could be where the Brown, Big Bear Brown, whatever daycare comes from. Also, looks like he has a lawn service company or something. Lawn service. He has some criminal record too. Need to confirm the guy's age. I believe this is him. The address matches up, but to that same location. He had a felony in 2007, grand larceny. Conspire, commit larceny. 2007. 2009, possession of marijuana, 2+ OFF, whatever that means. Drug possession, Schedule 1 or 2 in 2009, the same thing, okay. 2010, larceny, 3rd, plus conviction of larceny. 2011, some kind of petty misdemeanor. Operates snowmobile without snowmobile state trail permit. 2015, another misdemeanor, fishing game, take fish without angling license. I see the address there. This guy, I believe this is him. Okay.
Of the families who were impacted by this directly and still feel that indirect trauma as well.
No question.
Corin, we do want to give you some time, so to your point, that you can maybe try to gather some more information and talk to folks there. Again, thank you very much. We do want to just focus in what you're looking at there, kind of the bigger picture on your screen. That is a zoomed in look at the home. So this is Brown Bear Daycare. This is the home, 236 Tyler Avenue North. Karen had mentioned kind of that decal on the garage. Now you can see a better view of it. That night skyscape, and said in the neighborhood it was kind of known as the garage house.
The garage house, right.
Obviously, it's present there, and we are looking at that. This is the home where this, now we know, 2 people and a child were found dead inside.
Yeah, quite the scene there. Things have come together pretty rapidly this morning. This all taking place, from what we understand, the first report of it at about 9:06 this morning. So this has been, it'll be close to 3 hours here pretty soon. But we do have the news conference to show you once again, just to bring you up to speed.
We are working on that as we speak right now, but you can still see that looks to be sheriff's deputies, if I'm not mistaken, on the scene, obviously still trying to figure out. I mean, now we know the information. Obviously,
Yeah, the name does, the lookup, when you try to look up the daycare, it does pop up under this person's name here, I guess. Let me fix it here. Brown Kristen A. This is the address for the home daycare, because I was kind of curious to see if there's any infractions listed here. Does they have an active license? Click it. Okay, it's loading. Active license number, family child care. And for some reason, it's loading very slowly, so I'm going to take it off the screen until it loads. Kind of curious to see if they've had any like infractions against them.
the horror that unfolded in this daycare, and for anyone, you know, at home in Hopkins, beyond, anywhere who is watching, just thinking, oh my gosh, wanted to just hear what he had to say about that, just the tragedy of this.
It's not loading for some reason. I wonder if so many people are using the website. Can that many people be looking it up?
I think we can all relate who have children and those who don't. That this is just a tragic situation.
Weird. I don't want you to know they're trying to scrub the infractions off the website before people go and pull it up and post it. They're trying to scrub it. That shit won't load for me. It's just stuck loading. Trying to get the thing to load. Scrub it. Freeze it.
Just wanted to put that out there, that there were no violations in the state database regarding this home daycare.
And if you're just joining us, this is a scene that is happening there at Tyler Avenue North in Hopkins, where we can confirm 2 adults and a child are dead in an incident involving what the police chief at Hopkins was saying, a couple and their child all perished in this horrific scene at this daycare, the Brown Bear Daycare, located again on Tyler Avenue North in Hopkins.
Just an update too from Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty. She just put out a statement on this incident, and I'm just going to read it verbatim. We are aware of this morning's tragic and devastating incident in Hopkins and are working with Hopkins police as they investigate. Our office's Victim Services Division is prepared to support the individuals impacted by this incident, and we will provide further updates when available. Again, we had heard potentially from a witness, a neighbor there, that there was maybe some sort of police pursuit. That neighbor thought it was maybe involving Hennepin County deputies. We did not get any confirmation on that from the police chief at this moment. So just wanted to put that out there, that we are working to figure out if Hennepin County was involved in any of this prior to the incident there at the home.
Which stands to reason, because once the perpetrator went inside the home, they stopped. They would not pursue going in. I don't know if they were looking for a warrant or something, but it was not possible their jurisdiction to do so. Hopkins police later did arrive on the scene, and that's where we heard the chief say that they found the individual, the male dead, the female dead, and the juvenile child, as he put it, also dead. All believed to be family.
And in case you missed the part two, you know, one of the things that the police chief talked about and the mayor, one of the questions were, how were you tipped off to this? And it was another parent. I mean, a parent who was dropping their kid off at this home daycare, who apparently walked in on a situation, walked in to drop off their kid, and saw this horrific scene, and that is who called 911. And that kind of spurred this whole situation, according to Hopkins police. So just a terrible situation for that parent. And again, as Karen had mentioned, those kids, the kids who were in.
Yeah, I guess this listing here. I think Heather saw this. I went and looked it up. Looks like for the daycare, Bear Childcare, the same address, Minnesota, licensed home child care center providing specialized care. I take the time to know your child. I don't know if this is a random parent or is this one of the lady, the owner. Is this the lady that was killed today, or is that just a parent? I don't know. I take the time to know your child and nurture proper growth and development, featuring 1,800 square feet of play space with a separate entrance from the home. I care for 4 children full day up to 5 years of age. That sounds about right. With the occasional drop-in after-school child. I develop curriculum based on individual child's needs. We do learning through organized activities as well as play. For infants, that would include singing, tactical exploration, tummy time, etc. As the child grows older, we're working on language, motor skills, encouraging curiosity, and problem solving. I also focus on kindergarten readiness. I have a degree in education with a minor in speech therapy and have been certified in vision therapy to provide well-rounded experience. We include music, Baby Shark probably, and cooking classes and quarterly field trips. Okay. CPR training, Bear Childcare, certified nursing. The owner, that is the owner. Okay. Somebody in the chat said Alice Brown. Because I found some guy named Nathan Brown under the same address. I wonder if that's the guy that went there and did this. Would make sense. Maybe they were married. When I look under the property listing, who said that? Saw you in the chat. And so the schedule looks like Mondays. Well, they're closed Monday. I'm surprised. Kind of interesting. Closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Closed Friday. That's an interesting operation of hours. In 2019, Kirsten was our family. So look, this person says Kirsten. Kirsten was our family, full-time family nanny for 4 years. That's the name I keep hearing too. Kristen. I can't read. During that time, she took care of our 3 children, ranging from infant to 6 years old. Kristen was always caring and compassionate. And the pictures, we saw it here. The inside, the inside looks pretty nice, I guess. The outside area there. And then you even have a backyard with some slides and a playground. And this other room here, too. The house was decked out. Her name is Kristen Brown. Okay. I guess they keep playing over this interview. Let me look that up, too. I saw the other guy. I wonder if the other guy, he's involved or something. Check it out here. I'll put the audio for you guys for a second. Let me just
dealing with something like this and then also having other people's children in the home at this time that this happened.
Well, this is a horrific, tragic situation for any community, especially here in Hopkins, where we don't see this type of crime. It's a rarity here in Hopkins. We're a very safe community, and the impact is felt not only here but elsewhere for every parent who has a child in a daycare setting or anywhere where they don't have, immediate control over.
I mean, I understand where the Kristen name is coming from. Yeah, the Kristen name is right there. Her name is on when you look up the license, it's Kristen. When you look up the license through the government website, Department of Human Services, it's Brown Kristen with an active license. The only thing is when I try to click for infractions, it doesn't load and just kind of sits there. Okay, let me check the other name.
Care children who had arrived to drop off their children.
Did they witness it?
I believe so.
What are the ages of the range of the children there and the deceased?
They were all very, very young children, so I don't have their ages at this point.
Under 5?
It was somewhere around that age or less.
Do we know if there was any no contact, domestic restraining order, anything like that involved in this couple?
Again, we're trying to dive into the background here, but initially our goal was to get here to protect the scene as quick as possible with multiple agencies. That's why I had a very large response. And at that point, the goal is just to preserve the scene and make sure that everyone was safe.
Yeah, so I believe it's husband and wife because I found Kristen, but she went by Simmons. Kristen Simmons, same address. She, I guess, she, obviously they got married, I guess, so now it's Brown. I see multiple aliases under her name. And so I guess I'm assuming, we'll wait for more information to come out. They were married and maybe had a kid together. The in-laws are all Browns, or some of them Browns and Simmons. That's the family tree. And let's see here. Yeah, she has under her name as the license childcare worker. 2019 childcare worker. I'll show you guys that. Childcare worker 2019. Oh, let me zoom it in. Childcare worker at that address, same address. Let's see what else. So she has that. It also says childcare providers. Well, that's already passed. That's an old one. Okay. So it's obviously seems like some crazy domestic situation. I want to know what the guy. I'm trying to see if I get a picture of the guy. Yeah, doesn't have any social media. No social media is popping up. Not that I can. Not with this website anyway. I wonder what this guy looks like. Current owner. That is messed up, man. And I feel like we've covered some of the stories we've covered lately have been like this. Kind of like weird shit. The guy goes crazy, goes and kills the kids or the wife and offers himself. What is that? Doesn't make any sense to me. And yeah, for some reason the website doesn't work when I put in the license number. It'll pull up the daycare, but once you click further to find out more, just nothing pops up. Wow, dude, like some scary times. I don't know these people, these guys. And the person's got to be demented to do it in front of all these kids. Ownership detail. I wonder if the house was under his name only. It looks like I see his name. Yeah, the 236 Tyler Avenue. I only see his name. I wonder if his name was only on the property. Hmm.
This scene is, and of course, just the large police
Family
presence,
annihilators,
all
right?
of the deputies on the scene right now. And when you think about hearing something about a daycare, anything involving children in general, but you can only imagine the fear, you know, for if you're a parent or just anyone out there. So the fact that that we know that this is an isolated incident right now, and that this is a secure incident, and what we're looking at right now is just trickling down from earlier this morning. But Tim, you hit on it there, right there, when you talked about some of the people involved in this. We do know that the suspect, as the chief mentioned, believed to have taken his own life, as you mentioned, also belonging to the same family as well, when you talk about the loss of life with that one child.
Anytime you have children involved in an incident like this, my goodness, we're both parents, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you instantly go through these emotions of what other parents are going through. And we just went through this a year ago with the Annunciation shooting, right? That happened there, and your immediate gut reaction is to think about the children in this case. Police are telling us there were 7 children at this daycare. One of them is dead. The other children are safe and have been reunited with their parents at this time. But even the chief there is saying that his initial first responders there at the scene, this is going to be something that they remember the rest of their careers, the rest of their lives, that they're going to have to deal with, dealing with what they saw there at the scene.
Yeah.
Thank you. Philo Coast, thank you so much. Tagged you on X with info, Dirt Diver on X. Okay, let me check it out. Yeah, the news right now, I know there's people that are just joining, so maybe they haven't heard the news right now. They're kind of just repeating the same information that we've covered. Oh, this is the lady right here. Is this the lady? Oh, wait, what? Oh, Steve. Steve, what's up? Is that you? Oh, man, you just should have told me. Just Steve. I didn't realize under your name it's Dirt Diver. Yeah, if you're on X, check out Steve, because Steve has a lot of good information and always pulling audio, scanner audio. Oh, I'm trying to understand what this is. Celebration of life. Oh, did her mother pass away? The owner's mother, Rosetta, was born. Two daughters. Okay. Amanda. Nathan. Wait, what? Kristen. Oh, Kristen Nathan Brown. That's her mother. So the mother passed away. The owner's mother. And now the owner's passed away.
Rare in Hopkins, which brings a surprise and shock, especially to this immediate neighborhood, knowing that 3 people are dead.
And I think to also think about the parent who, of course, we don't have any names or any information, any ages right now. We do know that the children, the chief said, when a reporter did ask how old, maybe are they around 5 or younger, and he did say they were very young children, likely under the age of 5. But if you think about the parent who, he said, showed up to that home to drop off their child this morning, and then saw what was going on, and they were the ones who then called that into police, has to be very, very chilling and very heartbreaking for them. And then their child that they also showed up to the home with.
Right. You're looking at aerial video right now from Skyfox 9, and we've been told that we're probably going to lose this aerial shot here very shortly. But we do have crews on the ground, multiple crews. We have our Karen Scullen, our Corn Hoggart is there as well.
So I believe this is the lady. Steve sent this. Kristen Brown. And this is her, I believe, her Facebook page, but you know, it's probably limited for those of you that maybe have Facebook or never use. There's an option that, like, if you're not friends, you can see some stuff, but not everything. It looks like maybe it's limited. And the name matches up in Hopkins, Minnesota. That also matches up. Okay. And I think her mother had passed away, it seems like. And she made a post June 25th. They were having a celebration of life. Okay. That might be her kid right there. That might have been the child that was killed today. And there's not much on here. I was looking at something else to pull up some more information. That is just like horrendous, dude. I don't know what People have just completely lost their mind and their marbles. Oh, here, I found a Facebook page too. Look, check this out. I found a Facebook page. This looks like it's her. Got a little Facebook page here. We're just kind of diving in a little bit because, like I said, the news is kind of playing the same information over, So just kind of checking out some stuff, whatever else we can find. And so this says Brown Bear Childcare, call now, a warm environment to help children learn. It matches up again, 1,800 square feet, dedicated play space, specialized curriculum. And this looks like this must be her, I guess. And I don't know if that's her child. Very sad though. Obviously that's her, but somebody posted a minute ago too, said prayers for the family. And so this post was from March 19, 2021. That is horrible, man. Horrible. I don't know this lady, but she probably had a passion, probably her passion, her dream, maybe to take care of kids and have her own daycare. And here's a really great video on importance of playing and really attending to your child, the impact that it can make. One of the TED Talk videos. And I'm 4 years old. When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina and I will dance perfectly. The kids there, post pictures and, redacts the picture of the kids, but looks like she has all kinds of like activities, outdoor, indoors, a bunch of toys everywhere. I mean, she looks like she really loved what she was doing. I guess she seemed happy. I mean, sometimes it's hard to say on social media, but it seems like she had a passion. That's the lady that I believe was killed today at the daycare, Brown Bear Childcare. You can see this is the inside. The kids, welcome to Brown Bear Childcare. That's crazy, man. Kids running through. Making a little, homemade pizza. I like homemade pizza. I don't like olives, though. There's no way all those kids like olives. Hell nah. Ugh. Inflatables. I mean, it seems like a fun place. Seems like it, anyway. Shouldn't redact all the kids, though, but. Maybe they had trips to, would take them out. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Pretty sad. This from 2024. Science Museum. That pulls up. Minnesota. Oh, that's cool. I took the kid. I guess she takes the kids on trips. Yeah. So I guess you get like a gist of the inside. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody doing something so horrific, something so atrocious. Not only to kill your wife, not only to kill your kid, not only to kill yourself, but the display. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming the kids saw this shit, did it in front of the kids. Maybe they were arguing. Maybe he hated this. Some people too, they hate to see you happy. You could be in a relationship, you could be married. They hate to see you happy. They want to destroy everything you are and take everything with like, damn, yo. Whoa, what would make you do some shit like this, Once upon a time. This is all inside of the home, the daycare. I mean, I can't. This daycare looks better than some of the daycares that I've walked in and checked out, to be honest with you, because when the whole daycare thing happens, it's for a lot of parents, it's very nerve wracking. You don't know. You're leaving. You're trusting your child's gonna be safe. with whoever it is. You don't know these teachers or these daycare people, or they're having a bad day, or I don't know, they whatever it is. And if something starts happening, are they looking at after all the kids? Are they paying attention? These kids beating each other up. Maybe your kid comes home with a bite mark. What the hell? What is this? Where did this come from? Okay, we went through all the pictures. So yeah, that's the Facebook page for the daycare owner. Looks like Facebook page. About me. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, people are posting. This is her page here. I'm from a small town in rural South Dakota. I realized early on that I love working with children. It was a truly rewarding experience to watch them. And hold on one second. Sorry. Okay, sorry. When I was 10 years old, which I started babysitting when I was 10 years old, which progressed to a regular every other weekend position that I held until I was 14. I was also able to work in my mother's family childcare center when I turned 12. No matter what other jobs I held, I always wound up back working with kids. I have been able to lead. I've been a lead teacher in infant and toddler rooms in large centers. I had my own daycare back in South Dakota where I began taking classes for CDA, Child Development Associate. I was also a nanny for several years. In 2010, I graduated from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, with a bachelor degree in elementary education foundations. I also attended a minor speech language hearing sciences, which focused on how children learn and develop the last 4 years before starting Brown Bear. I was working as a certified optometric, optometric vision therapist. Optometric vision therapist. This profession allowed me to work with people of all ages, infant to senior. In addition to improving vision, this position allowed me to work with reading and learning skills, memory, gross motor, hand-eye coordination, and primitive reflexes. I find it very intriguing how working with the whole child or adult, makes the greatest difference in learning, memory, and quality of life. In October 2018, I had my own child. As much as I love my previous positions, I believe that it is time to return to childcare so that I can be home with her. I plan to take all the skills that I have learned in my journey and use them to help my daughter and those children who will hopefully become lifelong friends, blossom into happy, intelligent, caring individuals. So, it seems like she really loved this job, and eventually, she wanted to be with her daughter. I have my own child. And so, as much as she loved the previous position, she wanted to return to childcare. She wanted to be home with her daughter. And so, hey, okay, I'm going to run this business out of my house and continue doing what I love doing and have my kid here with me. Wow. This person must have been a very hateful. The guy that did this, maybe things weren't working out. A lot of times they say, I don't know, whether they're going through a divorce, were they separating, I'm leaving you or something. And some of these people, again, I don't know exactly what happened. It seems like a domestic situation, but some of these people can't handle that. Some of these people can't handle that. And it seems like he wanted to destroy everything, not just her, but the child. He must have really not even liked that child. Must have hated that child. I don't know, to do that. So in some cases, you see cases where they'll spare the child. He didn't even spare the child. Sometimes they don't target the child. It's just mom and dad or something like that. He must have hated her and lost his mind and hated the kid, and also to desecrate everything that she's been building and working towards, do that in the place that she loves. You know what I mean? That's how evil and malicious these people are. That's crazy, man. That is so crazy. It's unfortunate people do that to destroy something, pure, something that you're working towards, helping other kids grow feel someplace comfortable and have fun. And, a lot of daycares, they might not do all this stuff with your kids.
Front door open.
You're in a room, the kids are in a room. Okay, they're going to put on the TV. Y'all kids just going to watch this shit. Or there's some toys. All right, play with the toys. Oh, nap, go to sleep. There's some cot on the floor or blanket or something. Go to bed. They dim the lights. There's some nice daycares, but this, if you're taking your kid to a daycare, if you trust the person, because you got to do research. You got to look up the history. There's all the stuff you got to do with these daycares. But if you find somebody like this, that seems like they have a personal touch and care and quality, quality care. A lot of people would love that. Wow. Let me see if they're saying anything else. Okay, they're just kind of repeating the press conference. Let's see here. Job for 9. Thank you so much for the 27 months. Can you recap how this happened? Because I'm a little confused. Sure. Daddy Crap, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Steve, again. The long story short is just basically there was reportedly a stabbing at a daycare in Hopkins, Minnesota, a home daycare. They reported that 3 people are deceased, including a child. And it turned out to be that those 3 people are family, and it seems like the husband had come over there, and we're not exactly sure if it was all of them were stabbed. There's kind of they wouldn't really clarify. All I know is that on the scanner, their initial reports was stabbing, but we don't know if this guy stabbed himself because he apparently killed his wife, killed his child, and then offed himself. And so I don't know if he offed himself with a knife too. That's pretty gruesome. Maybe the guy's trying to off himself with a knife. And while all that was happening, there was 6 other kids in the daycare. 6 other kids in the daycare, and a father comes to the daycare. I don't know if he's picking up his child or he's dropping off his child or whatever it is. The dad showed up to the daycare, and he sees all this ish going on, and so he calls 911. And the cops get there, EMS, everything, and they find that, And, it's for kids probably aged around 5 years old, a home daycare. And so pretty sad, scary story, and some of these daycares, I mean, I guess there's pros and cons because some of these daycares, well, they have the doors locked, for security reasons. Some of these places, you have to knock on the door. They have to look in the camera and see who you are. And in this situation, I guess it wouldn't have helped because, like if it's a daycare worker that's gone crazy, you don't know they've gone crazy. They knock on the door. Oh, you're just coming to work, and they start going crazy on the kids. But a lot of these places, they'll have hopefully some kind of security measure in place. Doors are locked. But in this case, is apparently the husband. Which I haven't been able to find much on him besides some old, old smaller crimes, misdemeanors and stuff like that. That's a really wicked person. That's the only thing I could think of it as. Like the guy he doesn't want to see her happy. He did not like seeing her happy, and he wanted to destroy everything that she built. And in front of kids. Mm-mm. I'll let the presser play a little bit. I'm going to see if there's anything else, and then if not, we'll check back in.
Preliminarily, we believe that to be the case.
Okay. And how are your officers holding up to? I mean, this is, not just for the community. This has got to be traumatic for them as well.
The initial officers on scene, this was a tragic situation for them as well, and I can see on the look on their faces that this was one of those ones that you'll remember throughout your entire career, if not life.
Do you have any expectations about when you'll have other updates, and will it be happening here?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. All right, let me just check some more a little bit if there's anything else, and then we'll call it for now. There's supposed to be an update later. If I'm available, maybe I'll jump on the second page, iCkEdMeL clips, and just cover it. I'm not sure what else they're gonna update. Um, they describe the scene as very volatile, so I can't even imagine what that could be like inside. I try not to think about it because I don't even want to absorb those thoughts, but just a little of like what could have, I'm just imagining like stabbing. If it's really stabbing somebody, like saying there's going to be defensive wounds, there could be like blood everywhere. So who knows? Kids screaming, running. I just can't imagine. And the lady, Kristen, probably, she's probably maybe wanting to protect the kids, not wanting the kids to see this. Not, who knows? I just can't imagine what the scene looks like or what those kids must be thinking. And just Steve says, "Oh, interesting. He matches Kristen's friend list, and there's a photo of him on his Facebook. According to the daycare owner's mom obituary, this is the spouse." Oh shit, Steve! Damn, Steve. Oh, could this be the guy? Hmm. Yeah, same city, Minnesota. So this he was on the friends list. Let me see. Or yeah, let me see. Friends. Our friends list is closed though. But according to the obituary. Hmm. Let me send it into this group chat. Is Steve Steve, are you in the group chat? Oh no, they posted your stuff in there. We need to add you to that. Nathan, yeah. Oh yeah, this Nathan, the middle name, Nathan M. Brown. When I was running the background check, that's the middle name I had too. Let me see. That's the middle name I had too. And the thing is, just double check here. I think they're both the same age. I think they're both 41. He's 41 and his middle name Matthew. I have the same guy too. With the are listed under the same address. And M Brown 41. Yeah. And she's 41 also. Damn, man, that's crazy. Oop, this thing go. Nathan Brown. All right, guys. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna head out for now. I guess I appreciate you guys joining. Be safe out there, man. Be safe. There's some crazy ass times, especially with the kids. My gosh. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, be safe. I'll catch you guys later. All right, and thank you for the people that were able to join me for the members live earlier. We'll see what else happens today. I'm gonna be trying to post if I have time later some short stories, short updates, different news stories. I'm kind of fasting right now too. I'm trying to make it through 24 hours. It's kind of 21, 20. I haven't eaten since last night, so I'm trying to make it 24 hours. We'll see. Little detox. I'm trying to get into keto. So I don't know if at some point my thoughts are gonna be, or I might be aggy. I don't know. I might be snapping later. We'll see. But condolences, man. Condolences to Kristen and the child. Very, very sad. I hate to see that somebody to destroy somebody's thing like that can destroy life. You know. So all right. Thank you guys. Take care. Peace. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Adios. Hydrate. I said hydrate, right? Yeah, hydrate. I know. Yeah, hydration is like key. I need to do that. You're right. Thank you.